As winter starts to set in here in Minnesota, there are some essential things to consider to remain active and safe. Winter has many hidden dangers in the beautiful white wonderland that it is, and you should be able to stay active throughout the year safely outdoors. Welcome back to Mobility Agility Chiropractic Performance. Let's talk about the 10 common myths that occur during the wintertime. Cold doesn't make you sick. Viruses and bacteria make you sick. During the winter months, you have increased exposure simply because we're indoors around sick people more. Research has actually shown when you go in the cold, your body produces more white blood cells, which helps fight infections. Plus, according to the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, cold viruses grow best at about 91 degrees. So if you're outside in the cold, your nostrils are surely colder than that. So being in the cold can actually be protective. But there are dangers to running around in shorts. So make sure that you dress appropriately to avoid any hypothermia or frostbite. Yes, it is safe to exercise outside. In fact, a lot of races have faster times, more calories burned, and better endorphin releases simply from exercising in the cold. But this is for individuals who regularly train year-round. If you haven't been active recently, the cold can put an unnecessary stressor on your body. One of the most common causes of death in the winter is sudden cardiac arrest. The cold affects the heart rate, blood pressure, and this occurs at any age. Cold causes the blood vessels to constrict, so get smaller, which increases the pressure on the system. So make sure you speak with a healthcare provider to ensure your safety before heading outside to work out. This might be true for outdoor allergies, as most of the pollen-creating plants are dead, but not true for indoor allergies. Indoor allergies can actually get significantly worse, and this is simply because we're inside more, and the windows and doors are closed, which decreases the air quality, increases the dander and dust, and a lot of molds thrive during the wintertime. If you have allergy symptoms that last longer than 10 days or ease up after taking an antihistamine, it might be time to go visit an allergist to really get those symptoms under control. Although the sun isn't out often, when it does come out, the UVB rays, which cause most of our damage and burns, can reflect off the snow up to 80%, doubling your exposure in the wintertime. And for the most part, we are safe due to the amount of layers of clothing we're wearing, but our face, ears, and neck can often be exposed to the sun, and we can still suffer damage, aging, and a risk of skin cancer. So remember to protect yourself when you go out into the wonderland. Okay, so if this was the case, we could walk outside with just a hat on and shorts and be fine. And clearly that's not how it works. This misconception came from a study done by the Army in the 1950s. They dressed volunteers for an Arctic expedition, but failed to give them any hats. So when they measured where the heat was lost, of course, it showed that it came from the uncovered head. So no matter what body part is left exposed, that's where the disproportionate amount of heat will be lost. So make sure you appropriately cover up before going out. So this is a really serious topic. The lack of sunlight doesn't cause depression, but this is a form of depression that gets worse with the seasons, and it's called seasonal affective disorder. It is more common in the winter months, but can also occur in the summer. Combine that with stressors of the season, busy schedules, family, excessive holiday spending, which all can be triggers for depressive episodes. So if you're feeling depressed, have thoughts of suicide or self-harm, call the National Suicide Hotline or get a local counselor. Do not wait to get help. Depression is a serious condition that needs to be appropriately addressed. Let's face it, in the winter, it's easier to be sedentary. The food is rich and plentiful, and binge eating is encouraged. Based off a nutritional review, 51% of weight gain does occur during this time period, but it's not 10 pounds, it's only 1 to 2 pounds. Now, if during the summer months you don't take that off, over the years it definitely can build, which is why it's important for moderation when eating and to remain active year-round. Okay, this might be more of a half myth. Vitamin C is an important part of a healthy immune system, and taking large doses has shown to shorten the duration of a cold. But be careful, too much can have drastic effects on your gastrointestinal system. But your best prevention method really is to wash your hands, avoid sick people when possible, and get plenty of rest. I personally like to take elderberry and vitamin D during the flu season, especially in Minnesota. Granted, there's limited research on the effectiveness, but it doesn't hurt, and as an N of 1 in research speak, I've been really healthy the past few years since starting this regimen. Elderberry has high doses of vitamin C in it, and because there's a lack of sunlight, the vitamin D really helps my immune system work better. But make sure you talk to a healthcare professional before you start any regime of supplementation to make sure there aren't going to be any cross reactions with your medication. All right, this is completely false. Think about this evolutionarily. In winter, animals grow a thick coat of fur to protect themselves from the cold. And honestly, our hair kind of does the same thing. It's just not as effective. But the cold can dry out your scalp, make it itchy, and this can cause your hair to break. So it's important to use non-drying products or potentially just wash your hair less often and allow the natural oils of your scalp to keep the hair soft and supple. And this can help you have luscious locks all year round. All right, I know alcohol makes you feel all toasty on the inside, but it actually puts you in danger in the cold. The blood in your body when cold is kept to the core to keep your vital organs warm. And when you drink, the capillaries of your blood system expand and the blood rushes to the skin surface, meaning you feel warm, but you've actually just undone your body's natural protective mechanism for keeping you warm in the cold. Then, to make matters worse, you mentally become impaired and your body won't shiver once cold. And shivering is a last resort to create heat. So please be safe and don't drink if you're going to be out in the cold for a long time. I hope this video helped clear up some of those common winter myths. And if you think of any others, please comment below. Let me know. And until next time, Mobility Agility Chiropractic Performance wants you to get better faster, stay better longer, because no one has time to be sidelined. To keep up to date with future content, please click subscribe. Additional information is found in the description of this video.
All information, content, and material of this video is for information purposes only and are not intended to serve as a substitute for the consultation, diagnosis, and/or medical treatment of a qualified physician or healthcare provider.